Welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Action Comics number 98, Starring Susie, a title that's only really true for the first third of the comic. This is once again another Susie story, Lois's niece who tells white lies and they get, out of control at a certain point, especially when Superman gets involved and tries to help her make these things true. That's basically a Susie story, or what a Susie story is so far, except for her first story, Cinderella a la Superman, which still stands as my favorite Golden Age Superman story so far. If you didn't watch that video, go watch that video, because that is such a great story. Superman makes a Southern belle dress out of draperies. Here, Susie wants to be an actress, so she runs away from home. She's like 9. How'd she accomplish that? Lois, get on it! We also actually see her mother in this story, who I think is Lois's sister, which would be Lucy, or later on Lucy, when Susie doesn't actually exist anymore. They don't actually say her sister's name in the story. After running away from home in the middle of the night, Susie runs into two criminals trying to steal a ruby from this very rich man who also happens to like orphans. Not in a creepy way. Possibly. Not in a creepy way. He just kind of takes in orphans and feeds them and does stuff. So they get the idea to use Susie as an orphan, and as she goes in to get fed and have housing for the night, she is to unlock the door and let them in, which she does. We don't actually see this. Essentially, we get the introduction of the crime and then after the crime, and a bit of a flashback during the crime, but she lets them in, they steal the ruby, she panics, kind of takes the ruby from them, ends up on a train, escaping from them. Somehow they get ahead of the train. I have so many questions. So they get ahead of the train. How did they do that? And then they use dynamite to blow up the rocky gorge that's ahead of the train, so there's rocks in front of the train. Also, why did they have dynamite? Did they plan to explode, I don't know, the safe in the middle of the night of a rich man's home? That's not a very stealthy crime for the middle of the night. If you're just going to do that, just go in guns blazing and take them during the day. But so happens, at a certain point, Superman has gotten involved. Clark and Lois have been called, either reporting or looking for Susie. So Superman looks for the car they were in and stops everybody in the car. This is a fun idea that they don't really do much with. It's just kind of an annoyance for 3 or 4 panels. And then he eventually comes and saves the train. Susie gets her wish, as after this is all resolved, she ends up on the camera for a newsreel or a local news report. I think it's on a newsreel. It's not made clear exactly what they're watching this on. As for a Susie story, actually it's not that bad. I don't have really strong feelings about this story. It's told fine. Not a lot happens in it. It's not much for an idea of a Superman story. He does at least save a train at a certain point. Wow, I'm really struggling to find things to say. It's the issue with the Golden Age is, well, they're writing for content. There's not really much thought put into these, and usually it's just a series of Superman doing things other than, say, a plot. And this one barely has him doing much. He stops cars and saves a train. Okay, that is it from Action Comics number 98, Starring Susie. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday. But Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. Until next time, let's ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow? And why did those guys have dynamite on them? Okay, have a great day.